Now that is my kind of car. The power to traction ratio is way in favor of power. If you come around a corner and you're in third gear and you think, I wonder if it will start spinning. Yes. Or if you take off in second gear, will it start spinning? Yes. It's got an awesome sound too. If you listen to a V8 supercar, there's this wail or this howly sound at about 5,000 RPM. Like, whoop. If you love controlling it yourself with your foot, this thing is a beast. Yeah, so this is the most driver-focused Aston Martin, mainstream Aston Martin model yet. You know, there's been some track special editions and so on, but in terms of just a mainstream nameplate for Aston Martin, the Vantage, this is the most driver-focused model. It looks absolutely stunning, as I'm sure you'll agree, even in this bright fire orange color. You've got beautiful details as well, like this swooping diffuser area with carbon fiber, black exhaust tips, more carbon fiber for the side skirts, little detailed carbon fiber Aston Martin strake there, carbon fiber side mirrors, and then a full carbon fiber roof as well. It is absolutely beautiful. It's the most powerful Vantage as well. Under the bonnet, you've got a 4-litre twin-turbo V8 engine, 489 kilowatts, 800 newton meters of torque. This is rear-wheel drive as well, keep in mind, so you can just imagine what sort of fun you can have behind the wheel with that much power and torque going to the rear wheels. They are massive 325 tyres on the back to try and contain the power, and it does have good traction. Although you can, drift and do burnouts or whatever quite easily, it's actually got a lot of traction, which I'll show you in a minute with a POV drive. But yeah, these tyres, Pilot Sport S5s, they're very sticky, 21-inch wheel on the back. Carbon ceramic disc brakes hiding behind there. And you've also got 21s on the front, 275 35s, and again with the carbon ceramic brakes. And then inside you've got Aston Martin's door that kind of raises up a little bit as it swings open, just to sort of clear any gutters or whatever. This has got the optional bucket seats, carbon fiber again. They really hug you in. Like, look at the size of that side bolster sticking out. They're pretty comfortable as well, even though they are very aggressive. Power adjustment for the recline and height, but then if you want to slide it forward, you've just got to use the strap at the front there. It is a little bit of a hassle getting in. You've got to really bend down, and it's kind of pokes you in the leg with these seats. Once you're in though, the padding is nice and soft, and yeah, I could sit in here for a while and not become fatigued or uncomfortable. They're not super rigid, even though they look and feel super rigid on the outside. The actual padding just is, yeah, it's got the right amount of padding in all the right spots. Push button start, of course. Excellent soundtrack, as you'd imagine. It's got a really deep, exotic V8 sound. Like, it's not a traditional, small block Chev sound. There's this definite exotic deepness to it that just makes you, realize, hang on, this is definitely not a normal V8. Nice hunkered down driving position. I've got the seat pretty low. You can actually put it a little bit lower than this if you want to, but I'm pretty short, so I've got it actually up a little bit, which is unusual. I usually put it straight down to the floor, but this I've just got it raised up just a little bit because the dashboard is quite high, and it's, you've got that low sunken feel. This touchscreen features an Aston Martin running system, so it's all bespoke. And what I love most is you can just hit the vehicle setting there, assistance, and then you've got this no assistance button, deactivate, and then straight away you don't have any of the lane keep assist, you don't have any of the speed warnings and all that sort of stuff that comes up that annoys you. It's just all off. I think other manufacturers need to pay attention here, because this is the way you should do it. Some vehicles, you've got to go into a certain menu to deactivate the lane keep assist, and then you've got to go into another menu to deactivate the driver monitoring camera, for example, then another menu for the speed warning and whatever. This is just housed all in one central area. You just go car, no assistance, bang. It still has the double clicking as part of the regulations. You've got to make 2 selections to turn this stuff off. You've also got a custom mode, so you can set it up exactly how you want it. Rear cross traffic alert, traffic assist, traffic sign assist, all that sort of stuff. And you can customize it so that next time you get in the vehicle, you just hit that, accept, and then away you go. Aside from that, the menus are pretty easy to understand. You have your vehicle settings, your driver mode. You've got a custom mode as well when you rotate this. Sport, Sport Plus, Track. And if you go back the other way, you've got individual, wet, and that's it. But yeah, if you're in that individual mode, you can configure what you want out of each section. So you've got drive, exhaust, steering, and you play around. You've got wet, sport, Sport Plus, and track for pretty much each, except for some things. You've steering, you've just got sport and Sport Plus. But yeah, I think the touchscreen is quite nice. It's not over the top. It's just probably lacking some depth compared with some rivals, I guess. But this is a driver's car. This is not meant to be, you know, one of those technology capsules that you drive along with a massive screen and that's it. This has got lots of physical buttons, as you can see. Volume knob, really nice to move that. Same with the temperature, fan speed. It's all there, so you can quickly jump to it straight away. Air conditioning, air recirculation, and then you've got your drive settings as well that you can just jump into. So when you click track mode, it'll automatically go to the most aggressive suspension and exhaust. The stop start turns off as well, which is great. And then you've got your traction control button. When you're in track mode, if you hold it down, you'll get it into a customizable mode. Wait for that to pop up. And then you've got about 10 different settings there. And you can go through and have different or varying degrees of stability assistance. Well, I'll talk a bit more about that when we go for a drive. And you do have some storage, cup holders, a very shallow center console box, and then some storage behind the seats. You've got a couple of little shelves there. But yeah, overall, you could drive this, you know, as a weekend away car. It's a sports car at the end of the day. It's not a Grand Tourer. You've got a bit of boot space, nice little divider there, so you can chuck things on a kind of parcel shelf, I guess. But yeah, overall, I think it's decent practicality for this style of vehicle. We'll go for a drive now, and I'll show you what it's like from behind the wheel, and then we'll head out and do the performance testing. We'll start in sport mode. This is basically the sort of default, what is the default mode. There's no comfort or eco mode or anything like that. You do have an individual mode, and that way you can customize the different settings, which I'll probably use later on because this road is quite bumpy and the track mode is awesome for the track, but this road, yeah, I think is probably a little bit too bumpy. So you could configure track mode for everything else but the suspension. But anyway, we'll start with sport mode. I've got it in manual as well. You just hit the manual button there and it will, it means you have to change gears. But even in D, it's quite nice. It's a sports setting, so it's, you know, it won't just instantly jump up to the higher gears. It will remain in kind of a sporty tempo. The engine is, yeah, definitely the heart of this vehicle. It produces enormous power and torque. It really just gets this thing moving with the slightest of pedal movements. It does feel pretty sort of big and solid and chunky, this thing. Like I'm sitting down low in the cabin. The dashboard's all, you know, high and around me, the high window sill as well. I do have my seat lowered down. But yeah, you've got that kind of racy, very high-end sports car feel for sure. Yeah, massive acceleration. And awesome sound too, like it reminds me of a V8 supercar. It's got that kind of howling sound to it. I've got it in track mode and I've got the stability control completely off just to show you what it's like. There's actually an enormous amount of grip. It does spin if you want it to and you can drift if you want it to, but if you just follow the racing line, it grips up really, really well. I think the differential is amazing in this thing. It doesn't just lock under power and just kick the car sideways. It actually provides heaps of grip as you're going around the corner, it won't just, yeah, it's not just like a typical locking differential. Second gear. Yeah, like it's, that was me provoking it a fair bit, you know, throwing it into the corner, feeding in plenty of power, and it's still very controllable, but yeah, there's definitely wheel spin at the ready if you want it. Bit of a pop in the bang, bang from the exhaust at the back. Yeah, listen to that. It actually sounds better from inside the car, I think, compared with outside the car. And there's no fake stuff coming through the speakers that I can tell. It's all engine noise. They've just muffled it up a bit at the back on the outside just to keep the authorities happy, I guess. But yeah, as you can probably tell, that's full power. Excellent brakes, those carbon ceramic brakes. You can just jump on them time and time again, and there's always going to be bite there. But yeah, as you can probably tell, there's a bit of sort of creaks and rattles around the cabin because the suspension is just so stiff in this track mode. I mean, it's not uncomfortable. I could drive down a road like this in track mode quite happily. It's just that it's picking up all those fine details and sending information back to me as the driver. So I know exactly what the vehicle is doing. I know exactly when it's going to let go, if it's going to let go. But having 10 different modes for the traction control setting is a great move as well, because out on the track you can just slowly learn the vehicle, put it in the sort of easiest setting or the most aggressive stability control setting, and then as you can just work your way up until you've fully got the power at your foot. But yeah, plenty of grip anyway. So that was me putting the throttle in too early, like before the apex, and it's just kicking a little bit, and then you just leave your foot down, and it's just, yeah, like a piece of artwork. It's just easy to control. It knows exactly what you're intending to do. But as I said, if you really want to just grip drive, it's seriously capable as well. The steering is really nice. I've got plenty of communication coming through. I like the weight of it. It's not too heavy. It feels very mechanical. It's sending all the information back that I want. Like even the little ripples in the road, I can feel those. But yeah, I think that engine is the main feature of this car. It's just so powerful. Revs out to, what's that, 7,000 RPM red line. The gearing seems well spaced as well. Like second gear is quite punchy and torquey. Like it's not too long, like you get in some sort of grand touring style of vehicles. So you can just punch it out of the corner and you get that immediate response. But then as you work up through the gears, obviously you got crazy top end power. So we'll see what sort of time we can get out of this on the private road in terms of the quarter mile and 0 to 200. The surface is not the best. I think if you were on a drag strip, nice glass surface, you'd get better times than what I'll get, but we'll give it a go anyway. Huge G-force around the corner. It remains very, very flat. You've got those huge rear tyres. That's third gear pulling from low RPM. Third gear has the best legs, I reckon. It's got a good mixture of, you know, a little bit of acceleration down low because it's got 800 Newton meters of torque helping it out, but then you've got those big power figures to help pull it up in the top speed. See, around there, that was really quick but totally effortless. It wasn't slipping around or anything. If you just drive normal, there's plenty of grip available. It's such a driver's car. I reckon this is probably one of the best driver's cars on the market today, and definitely one of my favourite. All right, let's go out now to the private road and do the performance test and see what it goes like.